Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic out there. In this video today, I want to answer a question from a very good friend of mine, Caitlin Strain. She was asking to do a comparison between the Nitecore EDC09, which has the tiltable head, and the Olight Arkflex. So these are both fantastic flashlights. There is a difference between them, and I'm going to point it out in this video here today. I hope that this video helps you out. Let's get these on the bench and start talking about it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. On the left, we have the Nitecore EDC09. It has a retail price of $69.99. And on the right, we have the Olight Arkflex, which has a retail price of $79.99. Now, for this comparison, I want to let you know that the Arkflex has a cool white beam, so it's a 6500K beam. We are going to do the same cool white out of the Nitecore EDC09, also 6500K. However, it does give us an option for neutral white or warm white, but again, for this comparison, we're going to be on cool white. Now, starting off with these lights, both of these lights have a very low economy mode. On the Nitecore, that is 1 lumen, and you get 250 hours of runtime. That is 10.4 days. On the Arkflex, you get 1.5 lumens for 10 days, so you get half a lumen more for the same amount of runtime. Now, moving up, both of these lights have a low setting. On the Nitecore EDC09, low is 50 lumens for 13 hours, and on the Arkflex, it's 15 lumens for 38 hours. That's 1.58 days of runtime. I like this better because it's more runtime. It's a small step up from the moonlight mode, and again, it has a long runtime. Now, moving up to medium, on the Nitecore, we have 200 lumens. This will last 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then on the Arkflex, we have a medium of 100 lumens for 6 hours and 50 minutes. So I guess on that one, do you want 100 lumens on medium or 200 lumens on medium? Personally, I would go with the 100 lumens, get a little bit more runtime, almost 7 hours. That's fantastic. Now, both of these lights do have high, and on the Nitecore, that's 1600 lumens. That'll last 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it'll give us 153 meters of throw. So fantastic amount of light that we're getting out of the Nitecore. Now, on the Olight Arkflex, on high, we only get 400 lumens. But that'll last 90 minutes, and then it steps down to 60 lumens for an additional 10 minutes. So you get an hour and a half, then it steps down, and then you have 10 more minutes. So my personal pick, honestly, on what they call high would go to the Arkflex. And that's why, the reason for that is because I know that the Olight Arkflex has a turbo mode, which the Nitecore does not have. So let's go ahead and talk about turbo. We get 1,000 lumens for 4 minutes. Then it steps down to 400 lumens, and it'll stay there for 90 minutes or an hour and a half. We get 85 meters of throw out of the Olight. So now if we want to compare the brightest setting, or the turbo versus the high here, I think I would go with the Nitecore, because you get 1600 lumens. You get a whole nother 600 lumens of brightness. So I do like the mode spacing that they do on the Olight. They give you more modes and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, if you want to be on the brightest setting, I'm going to go with the Nitecore. You get a lot more distance of throw, so it's a difference of 85 meters of throw here versus 153 meters of throw. I give the edge to the Nitecore. Now both of these lights have what you would call a flashing mode. On the Olight, they call it a strobe. It does not specify how bright it is or the runtime, but it's very bright, very disorienting. And on the Nitecore, they call it a working flash. It looks similar to a strobe. They did minimize it down to 200 lumens, but it does not specify the runtime that you get out of that. So I would actually give the edge on strobe to the Olight. It's very bright and it's very disorienting. Now both of these lights do have an impact resistance rating. On the Olight it is 1.5 meters, and on the Nitecore it is 2 meters, so I would give the edge to the Nitecore in impact resistance. Now let's talk about waterproof ratings. On the Nitecore EDC09 we have an IPX6 water resistant rating. Now that means that this flashlight can go in heavy rains from any direction, force sprays of water from any direction, and not have any problem. With the Olight Arkflex, we get an IPX7 waterproof rating. Now there's a big difference. The difference between water resistant and waterproof. So IPX7, you can actually submerge this light underwater. I definitely give the edge to the Olight in the IPX rating. So it's a 7 versus a 6. And that's a major difference in my opinion. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some dimensions now. We're going to talk about the length of the lights. Starting with the Nitecore, it's 4.25 inches or 108 millimeters. And on the Olight Arkflex, those dimensions are the same. So it's 4.25 inches or 108 millimeters. Now the width of the lights on the Nitecore, it's slightly wider. We get 1.34 inches or 34 millimeters, and on the Olight it's 1.18 inches or 30 millimeters. So a slightly skinnier light on the Olight. Now the height of the light, when you set them down like this is what we're going to be talking about. This kind of a height right here. So on the Nitecore, the height is 0.94 inches or 24 millimeters. And on the Olight Arkflex, the height is 0.67 of an inch or 17 millimeters. So it's a little bit lower, not as thick as the Nitecore. So I would give the edge in size to the Arkflex. Now let's go ahead and talk about the weight of these lights. On the Nitecore EDC09, it comes in at 4.02 ounces or 114 grams. And on the Olight Arkflex, it's slightly lighter, so 3.56 ounces or 101 grams. Now the batteries on these lights are very similar in capacity, but they're much different in chemistry. So starting with the Olight Arkflex, we have 1050 milliamp hour capacity lithium polymer battery. And on the Nitecore EDC09, we have 1100 milliamp hour lithium ion rechargeable battery. So my personal opinion, I think the battery chemistry and capacity is slightly better on the Nitecore. Now for charging the battery on these flashlights, on the Nitecore, you can see there's a USB-C charging port, which works very well. And on the bottom of the Olight, it's their signature magnetic charging cable. So it charges at 5 volts, 1 amp. So as far as charging, it really comes down to Which one do you like personally? For me, I love the magnetic charging, so I would give the edge to the Olight Arkflex on that. Now, the bottom of these flashlights, both of them have a magnet and they're very close in strength. However, I do give a slight edge to the Nitecore on the magnet. I think it's just a little bit stronger than the magnet that we see on the Arkflex. Now, as you know, both of these lights, you can turn the head. So if you want to hang them on a chest strap of a backpack or something like that, it gives you the ability to do that. And on the Olight, the Arkflex, you have a 90-degree angle that you can accomplish. On the Nitecore, you have something similar. You can go a little bit further though. So if you look at the head on that one, you can actually go past 90, so you can go 102 degrees of an angle on the head. And that's a big difference, because if you're going to be putting these on a chest strap or something, the Nitecore gets the advantage here in my opinion, because it does shine the light downwards slightly, where the Olight just puts it forward at 90 degrees. So again, the edge on head flex goes to the Nitecore EDC09 in my opinion. Both of these lights do have their ultra low mode. Here is the Olight Arkflex. Again, that's 1.5 lumens for 10 days, and here is the Nitecore, 1 lumen for 10.4 days. So when you look at them up against the wall, they're very similar. The Olight is a little bit brighter, as you can see here. Right now we're looking at the Olight Arkflex on the highest setting. This is turbo of 1000 lumens. Again, it'll stay here for 4 minutes and then it'll step down to 400 lumens, so it's a good amount of light. But I'm also going to kick on the Nitecore EDC09. I'm going to go straight to the brightest setting. So here on the right is the Olight and on the left is the Nitecore. So the Nitecore with that 1600 lumens, it really does drown out the Olight. So here's the Olight just by itself, and then here's the Nitecore by itself. And then here's both of them side by side. Olight, Nitecore. Big difference in my opinion, and the Nitecore gets the nod. Now the last thing that I want to cover is lockout function of these lights. If you take the Olight, you can push and hold until you see moonlight mode. Moonlight mode disappears. You can lock this light out, put it in a backpack, and you don't have to worry about the light coming on. The Nitecore does not have a lockout function, but this switch is going to be fairly difficult for it to slide in a backpack. But if it does, your light's going to be on. So I would give the edge in just the ability to lock out. The Olight does have that, so the Arkflex wins in that department. Both of these lights have power level indicators, which will tell you the status of the battery in real time. Right here on the Olight Arkflex, you can see 4 dots illuminated. So it's basically 25, 50, 75, and 100%. And as you can see, they stay on. The Nitecore also has 4 lights that will illuminate. You can see 3 of them are lit up. It's very similar. However, the Nitecore, they will turn off. So they light up for a few seconds and then they turn off. See there, as you can see there. So I would give the edge to the Olight Arkflex simply because they stay on the whole time and there's no question at any time what the status of the battery is. I like that personally. Well folks, that's all I have for you today on this video. Taking a look at these 2 lights, the Olight Arkflex and the EDC09 by Nitecore. If I had to pick one of these 2, which one would I pick? That's a very hard decision to make, and I think each individual person out there has to weigh the pros and cons of what they need in a flashlight. If you want the brightest one of these 2, get the Nitecore EDC09. It's brighter, 1600 lumens versus 1000. If you want something that can go underwater, get the Olight. It's IPX7. The Nitecore is only IPX6. If you want one that has better mode spacing between the lowest brightness level and the brightest brightness level, the Olight's got you covered there. If you like magnetic charging, the Olight wins. If you want your power indicator to stay on the whole time, the Olight's got you covered. If you want to rotate the head down and get a little bit further aim going downward, then the Nitecore's got you covered. If you're somebody who needs those different shades of light other than just cool white, Nitecore has 3 different shades of light. So if you're trying to set an ambiance, or you're in an area where you want that yellowish, that warm white light, or that neutral white light, the Nitecore wins in that department. Both of these have exceptionally good pocket clips that are dual direction. They will both go on your hat and serve as a headlamp. If you want to see my full video review of each of these lights, I will take those videos and I'll put them down below in the description box down below. So I hope this video helped you out. Please feel free to leave comments down below. Let me know which one would you pick. I'd like to know what you think based on everything that I showed in this video here today. Thumb up this video, and if you like the content that you see on the channel, please hit that subscribe button and choose all notifications. And until next time, thank you so much once again for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.